Hello, welcome to this side of YouTube. My name is Nikki, and today I have a very special speed paint for y'all. It's basically a redraw of my current channel profile. I guess by the time I'd be posting this, it'd probably be my old channel profile picture, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to convey here. Now, for starters, I want to give a huge thank you to my friend Vanessa for giving me this baby right here, my new Gaomon Pd1560. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, thank you, Vanessa. I love you, and I've been using it a lot. Okay, now that's out of the way. Let's jump right into what we're talking about today. So basically in this video, there's going to be two speed paints. So basically the first one is the channel profile picture that I did not use, but I'll explain later why it's laid out like this. And basically a brief overview of what happened, I guess, is just that my program crashed. So I don't know who threw up in OBS's cereal, but they need to stop because I'm kind of done with OBS crashing every time I try to record anything, because it's happened 2 times at least now where I lost a lot of footage. In the first recording, I didn't lose as much footage as the second one, but it's still too much for my liking because I like to keep everything that I recorded. Thank you very much. So a little bit about the tablet. I didn't know much about Gaomon before I got it. Okay, let me first preface, before I start talking about a lot of things that I'll be talking about, mainly experience I had with the tablet and the speed paint. Those are the two main things at least, that I'll be talking about. So if I flip-flop, just stay with me. I'll make a full circle later on, hopefully. So basically with the tablet, I noticed something about its calibration. It's that the further you get away from the center of the tablet, the less accurate it is. And how I fix this is sort of like playing and goofing around with the calibration settings. Basically on the menu, you have little dots you have to click on, and then I just screwed around with that a little, and then I could get the calibration better on the outer corners of the monitor. So if you are thinking about getting this tablet, be wary of that. It's just that, it happens because they're not perfect tablets, but I think it works pretty well for the surface area that is really well calibrated. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter. And I've always been a big fan of people working with the materials they have. Before I had this tablet, I had the Huion, not Huion. I had the Turcom T6608. It's a non-screen tablet, and it served me well. I loved that tablet for so long, many years. But the thing is, I feel like I couldn't really get into drawing digitally. Even if I did a lot of digital stuff, which I did, it's not, I don't want to, it's not the experience you deserve. I don't know. It's a good tablet, but it's not fun to draw with all the time. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's just that when I was first getting it, I wanted something cheap and not Wacom because they're not cheap. Surprise, surprise. But I didn't really take a look carefully at the pressure sensitivity of the tablet, and I think it's much lower than the standard tablets we have right now, and that makes it not as much fun to draw with, if you get my flow. And especially when working with brushes that have a lot of pressure sensitivity and Krita or something, I'd always have to mess around with the brush settings with that tablet to make it feel okay drawing with. And that was really frustrating, and what really sort of turned me off to digital art or drawing with a computer. It's just that pressure thing. And I think Turcom makes good tablets. That thing is sturdy. It's built like a brick. But I probably should have just gotten a newer tablet at the time, or a Huion. I think Huion had more pressure sensitivity for their lower budget tablets at that time. But I don't know. I didn't research. I was young, dumb, and I wanted it now. Yeah, as I was saying before, you don't need the big fancy tools to make good art. The Gaomon isn't the most expensive, fanciest screen tablet out there. Like, there's Wacom. Enough said, right? But you don't need anything big or fancy to make good art. And as I do more reviews in the future, which is what I'm planning to do, I still want people to know that, hey, my art isn't good because I'm using this one thing. It's mediocre because I practiced. That's what I feel. That's my opinion. And yeah, I still like the tablet though. I love this thing. The tools don't make the artist, but the tools can help you with art. It's what they're supposed to do. And yeah. What else? What else should I talk about this tablet? A lot happened with this tablet. So basically with the first and the second speed paint, I think we're at the first one right now. It didn't turn out how I would like my drawings to turn out. And I also have this problem with my original profile picture. It's that I didn't try as hard as I could when I was making it. How do I explain this? Before with my art like a year or 2 years ago, I would have so little patience when finishing stuff or trying to finish stuff. I don't know how to word this correctly, but I was impatient and I wanted to get things done quickly. And when a project didn't get done quickly, I'd give up, put it down, and then walk away and then start something else, you know? I didn't have the commitment to finish all of my art pieces, which really did not help my growth as an artist at all. It kind of hindered me since I didn't get good at rendering pieces, fixing mistakes later on in the end game. And yeah, it kind of wasn't good. So one of my New Year's resolutions for last year, I think for 2019, was to get better at finishing my pieces and make more detailed and complex art, you know? I feel like throughout my art journey, I've always been listening to people who give advice for artists to design like characters, environments, stuff simple. And I feel like I never got to like fully live out my anime dream of making all these complex, unnecessarily detailed drawings and character designs, you know? It's because I've always been surrounded by like really good material. Like, I'm not saying, oh my gosh, YouTube completely ruined my art and my growth and yada yada yada. It's just that I didn't get that time to make all those bad mistakes that would lead up to what my style is right now. So hard saying this in words, but I started it off simple and then stayed simple without ever trying to go complex or like, you know, I knew the rules and I could break the rules, but I didn't choose to. I just chose to stick to the rules. You know, there's the saying, you need to know the rules to break them. Well, for me, I didn't break any of them, and I kind of stayed within my bounds with the simple art. And you know, I like my simple art style. I think it's cute. But there's some times when I want to make a really big, giant, really detailed piece, but I can't because I don't know how to do that. It's kind of frustrating, but these days I've been trying to work out of my comfort zone, especially since I've been starting a comic. My art style has become more simple, and that's really good for doing the comic, but it's only reinforcing that mindset I have of simple, keep it simple, don't add this, don't add that, you know, don't go out of your comfort zone. So I've been taking a break from doing my simple art and then trying to branch out and try shading, cell shading, non-cell shading, painterly style, non-painterly style with minimal line art. But that's just me. I'm trying new stuff. So I sort of sidetracked. Sorry about that. So basically what I was saying in the beginning was that the redraw I didn't turn out how I wanted it to at all. Not gonna lie. I took a lot of inspiration from the first one because I thought, oh, I should just do it like the first one because the first one works as a profile picture. Like, you know, it's a picture and I put it in my profile and it does its thing. So I took a lot of reference and inspiration from the first one, and I think that was my first downfall because I wasn't completely happy with the first one in the first place. So why would I reference something that I wasn't in love with, you know? But that happened, mistakes were made, and then my second mistake was settling for less than the best I could do. It's just not my style exactly. I took the worst parts of the way I currently draw right now and then incorporated them into one bad and rush drawing. I think this whole piece, the first piece, took me, I don't know, maybe an hour, 45 minutes. Like, to some people that may be a lot, but 45 minutes to an hour is like how much I take to like line a comic book page. So not really going into details. So I was really rushing it. I didn't like the way I colored it. I settled for less than the best. It wasn't even a good representation of my style or my taste. I mean, the new one is kind of like clickbaity, not gonna lie. I don't draw like that. It looks way better than what I usually draw. But, you know, it represents me more, like things I like more. And I think there's been a lot of improvement actually between the first and the second one. Like the redraws of the first and the second one. I feel like I've been trying to, within that short span of time, I've been experimenting more, which is good. And then from the original one to the second one, boy, that's a lot of improvement. The original one, it's messy, yeah. And then I find that whenever I'm like looking at it from far away, all the colors just mush together into a brown. And you know, it's nice that it's cohesive, but it's not recognizable. It's it's less recognizable than an egg. Legit, an egg on a white background would be probably more recognizable than the one I have right now. I'm looking at it right now and it wasn't even my style back then. Like, I was trying to do painterly, I couldn't really do it, and I was trying to work with values, but I couldn't really do that either. And I was trying to make my hair look fluffy, but then I couldn't really do that either. So I failed, but at least I tried. That's one thing I appreciate about that profile picture, is that I tried. And I haven't even looked back to the video where I did the speed paint of it, because there's some videos on this channel where I look back at like their thumbnails or their titles and I think, oh, I wish I could redo that again. I could make this video so much better. I could edit it so much better. I could voice it so well now. Yeah, you live and you learn from your mistakes and you grow. I think that's the key moral of this video, maybe. I don't know, you pick and choose. Let's see. I have a whole list of notes, but then I realized that my recording is longer than what I planned for, so I'm kind of having to dig back in my brain and remember what I needed to talk about. Oh, colors. I mentioned that briefly before. Colors. I suck at coloring. Surprise! You probably haven't guessed that one yet. But it's something I'm trying to get better at because I stick to basic color themes, you know? I know what the rules are to colors. Well, there aren't really any rules, but I just know the guidelines, I guess. Like, hey, if you put this and this together, they'll generally look good. This and this work, but not that. I know the ropes of coloring, but it's hard for me to apply them really well. It's like knowing the chemical equation for something, but not knowing what the reaction is, sort of. How else could I explain it? It's like knowing the formula in like a math equation, but not knowing how to put in the numbers to make it work. Yeah, that works better. So that's me with colors. I know how to do it, but just don't know how to apply it. All my colors, from what I see, just end up looking really flat. I'm not talking about my recent work, because I feel like with my recent work I've really improved. Like, I've been trying to go more into saturated colors because when I was first starting out, like the oversimplification thing, I never got that time to work with really saturated, bright, obnoxious colors like deviant, like early deviant art things. I never got to do that. So I always stuck it safe with my more desaturated colors, and I just never branched out from that because I always thought, oh, if I make it too saturated, then it will look bad, it will look juvenile, and nobody will like this piece. But I'm trying to I don't want people to not like it, but I'm trying to find my way, and make my colors look nice, because I've noticed that as I got more mature with my art, that I could evaluate I don't want to use evaluate, I could see colors better. I don't know, I could tell the relationship between colors. I think that's what makes a good coloring artist, if you can call them that. A good colorist, I don't know, just a good artist. They can tell the relationship between colors, and I can't do that well. I mean, I can sort of do it, but not that good. I feel like I still have a lot to learn. I'm going all over the place, but coloring takes a good eye to be a good coloring person. So I've just been observing a lot, referencing a lot, mixing and matching a lot, and then exploring the color wheel. Like, if you're gonna do digital art, at least use the colors. I mean, you don't have to, but if you like colors, why don't you use the ones you like and the ones you don't like? And everyone, just explore all the colors. And I feel like this year I've gained an appreciation for the color orange and yellow. Now, this is going to be controversial, but orange is the ugliest color of all time. Now, okay, don't cancel me yet. I'm just stating facts. But on my tier of least favorite colors, yellow and orange were at the bottom, and yellow was a little bit above orange. But recently, I've kind of liked yellow. I've been kind of vibing with it, not gonna lie. But orange, I mean, it's okay. Red, orange, I can deal with that. It's just, man, maybe I should just start using orange more in my artwork. Just watch my next Instagram post will be just all orange. But yeah, coloring. I'm still working at that. Oh, one reason I'm also working at coloring, other than just generally being a good colorist, is because I want to try a lineless style. Painterly, making form without the harsh lines of a pen or something like that. I really want to get good at that because it's so pretty, but it's so hard to do. All the pretty things in art are very, 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 very difficult to do. All of art is very, very difficult to do. But yeah, coloring, values. Oh, yikes. And also, I've been working on my everything, mostly on my people. I've been doing backgrounds here and there, not gonna lie, but it's a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress. I forgot what this video was about. I think I was talking about my channel art. But yeah. Oh, I needed to tell you about how I lost all that footage before. For the first speed paint, I lost some footage because I accidentally tripped over the wire that was connecting my laptop to the wall, because my laptop will not work unless it's plugged into the wall, and that caused everything to shut down, which sucked. And the second time I was recording all of the coloring for the second profile picture, I was in a mood. I was just going, recording and drawing and having fun. I was just in the zone. So I record an hour or two of footage, and they're split up into two pretty large recording files. And I go back and look in the folder and try to rewatch all my clips to see how they turned out, and they were corrupt. All of my coloring gone, legit corrupt. And OBS, I can't even fault them for this. This is my fault. I saw the signs and then I turned a blind eye to them. My fault 100%, and that's on that. If you have OBS, you can change the settings of how you want the video to be recorded, like MP4, FLV, the other ones. I don't know what the other ones are, but every time you click MP4, OBS is like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Because if you lose all your images and all your files, that's it. They're gone. They're dead, deceased, nada, zero, nothing, gone. So like a fool, I always picked to record in MP4. And guess what happens when you record in MP4 and all your footage gets corrupt or you accidentally knock over your cable? Guess what happens? You lose all your footage. That's what happens. And that's what happened to me. It's my fault. I can't really be mad. I mean, I can be mad. I'm very upset. But all in all, that's on me. That's on me. OBS caught me slipping, and that's on me. But that's okay. I still made a good art piece, and it still turned out good, and you can still see the end result. That's basically why I decided to include both of them in one video instead of making separate videos. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed me rambling and talking about whatever I was talking about. And yeah, I'll come back in hopefully less than a month, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know my schedule. Everything's jumbled up. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Later. Ciao.